Hello and welcome to the Rangers News YouTube channel. My name is Cameron Willis, and in this week's video we are going to be looking at the two best Rangers signings of Steven Gerrard's tenure. Well, at least in my opinion, they're the two best. You might have other reservations, but if you do at the beginning of the video, let me tell you that I will do my best to ensure that you don't at the end of it. I think these two guys have been absolutely pivotal to what Steven Gerrard has achieved so far and what he is looking to achieve come the end of this season. But before we go any further, or before I begin to convince you why these two guys are the best of Steven Gerrard's signings, if you haven't already, please click like and subscribe. There should be a wee thing coming up just below my head right now. Every like, every subscription, every comment, etc. helps to improve the channel and ultimately make sure that the content is more entertaining for fans. So yes, if you're watching and you have not yet subscribed, please do so now by clicking below. Throughout Steven Gerrard's tenure at Rangers, he has made some 40 signings across 6 windows, but there's a reason why the two guys which I'm about to name are the best, and without further ado, drum roll please, they are veteran goalkeeper Allan McGregor and veteran midfielder Steven Davis. Now, the reasons for this are plentiful, not least because they are good players, top professionals who could probably play in any top league in the world, but also because they are die-hard Rangers men who have been the course, have won silverware with the club before, and know what it takes to get it over the line. I think this was no more exemplified than by goalkeeper Allan McGregor's now famous interview in the aftermath of the 1-1 draw with Hamilton, where he described the performance as rubbish. He slated his teammates, and he was unbelievably honest about the kind of lacklustre showing at New Douglas Park. Rangers are obviously very comfortable in the league, but McGregor knows how quickly things can turn. I mean, even the last time that Rangers won the title, the season turned on its head in the last few games. So McGregor knows that you have to keep your focus until it gets over the line, and I think both his performance that day when he made 6 saves, none of them absolutely outstanding, but some really solid saves, and in his pre-match comments, I think nothing sums it up more. As for Davis, it's interesting that in the same match, the Northern Irish captain would come on and change the game. He obviously put the ball down to Borna Barisic, who crossed it in, and it came off Brian Easton for an own goal. But it was Davis who was really the brains behind the move, and we missed him on Sunday when we played Hamilton. I think that was clear. I think Steven Gerrard was clear about that in the aftermath of the match, but I think it is clear that we can't play him every game, such as his age, but it just shows you how vital he is to Rangers, how much he kind of threads everything together for the team, and how important a figure he is for this Steven Gerrard side. Now, obviously, there have been perhaps more glamorous signings. I think because these two guys had played with Rangers before, obviously Allan McGregor came through the youth ranks at the club, and Steven Davis, a boyhood fan who joined in his early 20s. I think there maybe wasn't as much excitement about it as perhaps there has been about other moves, but do not underestimate how important these moves have been. I think McGregor was the second signing under Gerrard after Scott Arfield, and I think since he's been back at Rangers, he has made up for lost time away from the club. I don't think there is any keeper at the moment in world football who's more synonymous or who can raise his game by an extra 20% because he's playing for the club that he loves than McGregor. I think that McGregor is a top quality keeper. I think that his spell in Turkey was disappointing and disheartening in the aftermath of 2012, but I think when he moved to Hull City, he showed his class just before he joined Rangers. But it's not just in the fact that McGregor is a Rangers fan or that he cares so much about the club, or even that he's been there before. I think one of the main reasons why he has been a standout Steven Gerrard, or one of the two standout Steven Gerrard signings for me, is because of his ability. He is a top class keeper, and like I said previously, he maybe raises his game an extra 20% when he's wearing a Rangers shirt, but some of the saves this guy has made over the course of the last 3 seasons are just ridiculous. I think that it was McGregor's leadership, experience and quality that helped us into Europa League group stages. He was absolutely superb in that first season in Europe, and I think that domestically we've seen the best of him as well. This season he has been absolutely incredible. I think the Celtic game, for the first half of that match, I think that he just showed how much of a giant he is for Rangers, and in a match that obviously means more than any other, he showed that he could raise his level in it as well. He's a top class keeper, a top class professional, and an incredible kind of presence to have at the club. I know Rangers have like the likes of Robbie McCrory out on loan, and maybe his kind of pathway into the first team mimics that of McGregor, but I don't think it makes a difference who you replace the guy with. I think that it's just giant gloves to fill. And I mean, at the moment, it looks like he can go on forever and become like the kind of Edwin van der Sar of Rangers as he was to Man United, and play for a couple of seasons yet. And obviously, goalkeepers have got a bit more longevity in their career anyway, but McGregor doesn't look like he's going anywhere at the moment. And I don't think there would be anybody who could come in and depose him. It's incredible to think that Rangers signed, I don't know, a young goalkeeper from somewhere else, or an exciting up-and-coming prospect, and they would find it incredibly difficult to shift this guy, even though he's 38, because he is just a quality goalkeeper, and his focus and his determination and his concentration as a Rangers fan playing for the club is just so important and so refreshing to see. And yes, hopefully we get a couple more seasons out of him, but whenever he does kind of move on, I think he's going to be very, very difficult to replace. Moving on to the Ulster Shavy, Stephen Davis, who, when he first rejoined Rangers, was probably by his own admission a little off the pace. He obviously joined in the January of 2019 alongside Jermaine Defoe in a kind of loan deal from Southampton. Defoe obviously came from Bournemouth, but yeah, it took him a little while to get up to speed. And I think when he signed, Rangers fans maybe had reservations, saying he's not getting a game at Southampton, he's a little bit older, is he going to be able to kind of control the tempo of matches and dictate games and be that kind of pivot that we've seen him be so effectively for Rangers, Northern Ireland and Southampton over the years. But I think we were all very, very pleasantly surprised once he got his engines going and he got up to speed again. I think going that period without club football at Southampton kind of maybe affected his fitness, and he needed to build it back up. And I think from the start of last season we've seen the best of Stephen Davis again, who, like Allan McGregor, probably has a little bit of unfinished business at Rangers, because I don't think either of those guys really would have wanted to leave in 2012. But if you think about the calibre of player that they are, it's difficult to really begrudge them, because they are huge players, international players, like I say, that I think can play in any of the top 5 leagues. And Davis, even now at 36, even though he's a midfielder, is still full of energy, still full of guile, still full of experience, still full of enthusiasm, and it's unbelievable to see just how much of an influence that he has on games. He takes them by the scruff of the neck. He's very rarely not involved, and whilst he can have the odd off game, he is like the ticking heart of Rangers. And alongside McGregor, I think a vital component of this side, and when we do win the title, when we do get it over the line, it'll be because of guys like McGregor and Davis who know that points aren't won by themselves, and you need to go out and grab it, and they know what it takes to get it over the line. And for me, the signings have been masterful. I think that their form over the course of their second tenure at Rangers has proved that, and I think Davis is proven more than just about anybody at Ibrox as of late that age is but a number. Again, it's great that Davis is a Rangers fan. It's great that he's got so much experience. It's great that he has experience of going the course and knows how to get it over the line. But similarly to McGregor before, I think that the main reason why it's so good to have Davis back at Ibrox and as the beating heart of this team is because he is so good. He is a remarkably talented football player, and I think that when you look at the consistency he's shown at Rangers, Southampton and with Northern Ireland over the years, it sums up just how much of both a model pro that he is, but also how talented and skilled he is as a midfielder. For us, I think that he maybe dropped a little bit deeper and doesn't get forward as much, and you don't see him shoot as much to the frustration of some supporters, but he's always the guy taking the ball off the centre halves. He's always the guy that's available for the pass. He's got a neat kind of turn in midfield, finds space, finds a ball. It's remarkable how many of Rangers' kind of attacking moves probably have Davis at the crux of them, and yeah, he's such an influential player, not just in terms of his ability on the pitch, but also in his kind of leadership and leading by example for other players. I think his standards are so high, he drags everybody else up with him, and yeah, I think it's a testament to how the guy's looked after himself, that he still has it in his tank to be able to go out every week and do that. Similarly to McGregor, now that this Rangers team's kind of established itself under Steven Gerrard, it's going to be very difficult to replace the influence of Davis. I think we saw at the weekend with Hamilton just how important a player he still is, and how important a player he's going to be for the remainder of this season. Don't know what's going to happen in the summer. We don't know if he'll sign another deal, but I think we've maybe got at least another season in him, but maybe he won't play as much. So yeah, a huge challenge for Rangers in the coming seasons to find somebody who can replace him. But similarly to McGregor, the ability is just so high that it's going to be difficult to replace Steven Davis and Allan McGregor at Rangers. So yes, thank you so much for watching. I hope that I've convinced you that these two guys are Steven Gerrard's best signings. I think when I went to do this video and I was deliberating over it and all the other kind of guys that we've signed, I don't think there's any other two you could choose. I think that these two guys are just so pivotal, so important, so classy, so talented, and ultimately so important to Rangers. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment below, let me know what you think, let me know if you agree with me, and let me know if you can think of any other players that might take precedence over these two. And if you enjoyed the video, please click like, please click subscribe. We'll be back later in the week with more kind of news and previews as we look ahead to the matches ahead. And thank you so much for watching. Mon the Rangers.